Julie, good morning. We could have a jury seated by this afternoon. The pool of qualified jurors are returning this morning, and then attorneys will use their strikes. Today begins week 2 in the Doomsday Prophet Murder Trial. Chad Daybell charged in the murders of his first wife, Tammy, and current wife's youngest children, J.J. Vallow and Tylee Ryan. The trial playing out in the same Ada County courthouse where wife Lori was convicted of murder last year. Chad faces the death penalty and Lori did not, which is why jury selection has taken a little bit longer. At the courthouse, we've seen a lot of familiar faces. We also met up with a juror from the Vallow trial.
Well, the prosecution told me when I interviewed them after the Lori Vallow trial that there would be new information. So they have new stuff that we're going to see. So I'm interested to see what that is. And then, of course, yeah, that it's a death penalty case. That's going to be a lot different for these jurors.
And the court is looking to seat 18 total. That includes 12 jurors and 6 alternates. As soon as it happens, we'll let you know. That's the very latest from the Ada County Courthouse. I'll send it back to you, Julie.
All right, thanks to Matt Johnson for that early update. Now let's talk more about what we can expect when this highly anticipated trial begins. I have 2 wonderful guests standing by to talk about it. Jury consultant and human behavior expert Susan Constantine. And also we want to welcome onto the program this morning Lori Vallow's uncle, Rex Connor. Good morning to you both. Wonderful to see you. Rex, I want to start with you. Our hearts go out to you and your family members, all that you've been through. Our condolences, of course, first and foremost, for the deaths of JJ and Tylee. You've already been through one trial, as we know, with your niece Lori's case already being disposed of. Do you or any of your family members plan on attending this trial too?
Not very many family members. No one's planning on it. I will probably go at some point, but it's not to support the defendants by any means, but there are a lot of people there I like to thank, and I did that at Lori's trials. Kay and Larry for getting the process started, all the law enforcement, all the media people, including Court TV, you've been so good about carrying this story. And because of that, the world's united to find justice for Tylee and JJ and Tammy and Charles. So a lot of people to thank. I'll go for those reasons. And I'll be following the trial from home like millions of others.
Sure. You've always been very gracious, Rex. We applaud you. This can't be easy, what you've been through, what you're going to continue going through. Thank you for that. Susan, I want to show you a clip, please, really tapping into your experience as a body language analyst. This is from a 2020 hearing with one of the detectives we've seen throughout the progression of this case, really the lead detective, Ray Hermosillo, and he's talking about some really graphic evidence in this clip. And I want you to take a look at Chad's expression here and tell us how you think a jury might perceive the way he's acting.
When I returned to that area, they had already dug down and located what appeared to be a mass of burnt flesh and charred bone.
Okay, and just the way live television works, we lost our signal with Susan. So, Rex, I know you're not a body language analyst, but we just as human beings, we analyze other people's body language all the time. And the point we wanted to make here is he is expressionless. You know, when you're thinking about those precious children, I mean, Lori's children, and their remains found in his backyard. And his job previously, little known fact about him, but I'm sure the prosecutors will make a big deal about it here, is he was a grave digger. A grave digger before he became the prophet and the author and the preacher and everything else he claimed to be. Rex, how do you think the members of the jury are going to receive him when he sits there and doesn't appear to show emotion when police are talking about JJ and Tylee?
Well, I hope they will see right through him as they did in Lori's trial. You had my friend Tom Evans on there, who was one of the jurors in Lori's trial here in this segment, and Tom said they could see through that. And so the fact that he's emotionless, I hope the message is, I'm uncaring, I'm as cold as ice, and that's why I was able to participate in the slaughter of these 2 people and then the other victims that have been involved.
Oh, Rex, you said that so well. That's exactly what the prosecutor should say, what you just said right there. Portray him as cold as ice. That's really what they've got to do. I am very curious if the defense team will call Lori as a witness. And John Pryor, Chad's attorney, was asked about this. Rex, I want to play a clip where he answers the question. Let's watch.
It's possible. It's always possible. Anybody who's connected to a case could be called. And I don't want to specify, and I want to be clear. I'm not telling you that I am or that the state is or anybody else is. Okay. But anybody can be called. If you have an involvement in this case, potentially you could become a witness in this case.
Okay. Now, Rex, you know Lori personally. She's your niece. I just made what do I want to say? Maybe a little bit of an informed prediction just based on what I've seen from following this case for the last, it's over 4 years now, that I think if she was asked to testify for Chad, that she would. What do you think she would do? You know best.
I think she would love it, and I don't know this version of Lori very well, as close to the previous version of Lori, but I believe she would love it, be able to get up there and talk about the alternative reality that they've created together, and we would hear nothing else except that alternative reality about their mission and the same type of dribble that came out when she made the statement at her sentencing. So I doubt that it would be very productive for the defense, maybe for the prosecution.
That's true. That's a really good point, Rex. Maybe for them. Let's take a look back at some of what she said at sentencing. Particularly, she said, no one was murdered.
Jesus knows me. And Jesus understands me. I mourn with all of you who mourn, my children and Tammy. Jesus Christ knows the truth of what happened here. Jesus Christ knows that no one was murdered in this case. Accidental deaths happen. Suicides happen. Fatal side effects from medications happen.
Ooh, we all remember hearing that. Rex, tell us, what were you thinking? I'm sure you remember the moment when those words came out of her mouth and you know what happened to JJ and Tylee. What do you think when you hear that again?
I painfully remember that very, very well, sitting in the courtroom with my wife, Lisa, and I was just, still to this day, I just can't believe what was coming out of her mouth and how arrogant it was, how I still don't have the words to describe it, but I wish I could do more for you on that question. I just can't describe it. It was so awful's the only word that can come to mind.
Right. It left you speechless. Did it not? It left you speechless, huh?
It certainly did.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
As you said before, Rex, this is not the person that you knew. This is not the niece that you knew for so many years. Do you think Chad was responsible for the big change in her personality?
No, I think she was working that direction and meeting Chad, as her brother Adam says. Her brother and I do a podcast, and I've written a book about it. He said it was just pouring fuel on the fire, is the perfect storm of evil getting together. So I don't blame one over the other, neither Alex over the other, or all three of them, and other conspirators, unknown as the original paperwork said. That's who we want to see brought to justice. So I think they're equal in this crime.
I really appreciate you sharing your thoughts. Rex Connor, thank you kindly for your time, for being so open with all of us. Would love to talk to you again really soon. All the best to you and your family members. It's very clear you are a lovely family, and so many of our viewers are so sorry that you all have been put through this because of another family member's decisions. Take good care. We'll see you soon.
Okay, thank you, and thank you for carrying this story and caring so much.
Oh, certainly. Rex, we'll talk soon. Thank you kindly.